Hi guys, I'm Avi.
And I'm Terry.
We're a dad
And daughter. And we're watching, reviewing, and ranking every Marvel Cinematic Universe movie leading up to Avengers Endgame. In this episode, we'll be reviewing 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron, directed by Joss Whedon, starring Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Mark Ruffalo, Samuel L. Jackson, and James Spader as the voice of Ultron. The movie had a budget of $365 million and had a box office of $1.4 billion. So, Avi, before we get into our favorite characters, least favorite characters, and all of that stuff, what were your overall thoughts of the movie?
I loved it. And I thought that the twins were, very interesting because we get to see someone who transforms from a villain into a superhero, which we don't get to see in a lot of the other movies.
Cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. And I thought it was really funny. There were a lot of funny scenes and a lot of sad scenes and a lot of, fighting scenes, which were really cool. I thought it was a very good movie.
Good. Sounded like a nice mix, kind of like you were saying with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Cool. I will say this. I also really like Avengers Age of Ultron, and I think a lot of people hate on this movie.
Why?
They think it's weird that the story is choppy, that they threw in a lot of Infinity War stuff that I'll talk about when I get to my least favorite scene. But overall, I think it was a really good movie, and I think it's a really good Marvel movie. So, Av, who's your favorite character?
My favorite character is Scarlet Witch.
How come?
Because it was really cool to see how she did the mind things. And she's actually my favorite superhero. Anyways, so yeah, I really like to see her in this movie because I don't remember her in this movie actually. So I got to see her as a villain and then transforming into a superhero, and then how she was kind of scared, and then how she came back out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should have included that among my favorite scene. I'll come back to that when we get to favorite scene. Excellent. My favorite character, and I'm going to cheat a little bit here, Av. We have, after this movie, we have to watch Ant-Man, and after Ant-Man comes my number one favorite Marvel movie, Captain America,
Civil
freaking War. And what I love about Civil War is the disagreement between Tony and Steve, because they're so true to their characters. And in this movie, you start to see that divide growing between the two of them. Steve is pissed at Tony. Tony thinks Steve is wrong. They get into a couple of arguments. And it just, to me, my favorite character is the Tony-Steve relationship, sort of exemplified by that scene when they're chopping wood at Clint's house.
Yeah, and he's like, don't steal from my pile, and it's tiny.
Yeah, compared to Cap's pile.
And Cap's is gigantic.
So I'm calling favorite character for Terry is Tony and Steve. Who's your least favorite character?
Strucker.
Why?
Because he died pretty much instantly.
Yeah.
I actually didn't remember his name.
Yep.
And that's not good. And yeah, I just didn't like him at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think he kind of gives the story that early villain that they have to fight. It gives you that really cool scene at the beginning.
Yeah, that's really cool, but he instantly went
it's gone.
Bleh.
And we'll have something, I don't know, spoilers for Civil War, but we're going to have something similar happen at the beginning of Civil War. My least favorite character was Quicksilver. Is that what they call him in this movie? The other twin. So you don't know all of this, but I will tell you that in the comics, Wanda and Pietro Maximoff are the children of Magneto, and they are mutants that were born with their powers, not given their powers by the Mind Stone. Marvel had to change all of that for the movie because Fox, the company, had the rights to the X-Men. So they used these characters, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, without making them mutants and without making them Magneto's children. So, Scarlet Witch, I totally agree with you. I think she's a good character. And spoiler alert for Infinity War, she's one of my favorite characters in that movie.
She loses her accent, though.
She does lose her accent.
Which is weird.
I almost feel like Marvel was like, well, we can't use him anyways, so we're just going to kill him off. And so I feel like he's a little bit of a wasted character. And
I thought he would have been a good character, honestly.
I think so too.
I think he was a pretty good character.
I think he was an okay character, but they
wasn't
killed him off.
The best character, but he was okay.
So my least favorite character, I honestly had a hard time choosing because I think that everybody had kind of their moments in this movie, including Ultron, that I really liked. I think Ultron was kind of all the best parts of Tony, and the worst parts of Tony. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say least favorite character, Quicksilver. Avi, what's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is the hammer scene where they're all trying to pick up the hammer.
Yes.
And, like, it budges a little bit for Steve. Like, not budges. It, like, sort of lifts a little bit.
Because he's almost worthy.
Uh-huh. And my other favorite scene was when Scarlet Witch, I have it right here, came out. I do not have it right there. Yeah. I was just kidding. When Scarlet Witch comes out. I don't know.
When she doesn't want to leave the building, and Clinton's like, look, there's robots attacking the city is flying, and I've got a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
But if you come out of this building, you are an Avenger. That scene, that's a really good scene.
Yeah. I like that scene.
My favorite scene, I'm going to steal off of you. My first favorite scene is when the Vision comes out of the chamber, and they are not sure if they can trust him or not because they think Vision is made of Ultron.
You stole my scene.
No, I didn't steal your scene. Let me finish what I'm saying. You said when they lift the hammer.
No, I meant when they all lift the hammer and then Vision can lift the hammer.
Oh, you didn't say that. You said when.
Well, that's what I was trying to imply.
You said when they all tried to lift the hammer.
Okay.
So my favorite scene is when they're not sure if they can trust Vision, and then he picks up the hammer and hands it to Thor and is like, "It's time to go." My other favorite scene is the one that you just described, which is Scarlet Witch coming out of the house or out of the building with. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's a great scene. Clint, for whatever reason, and listen, I guess we'll see what happens in Endgame. Clint is a good, interesting character in this movie, and it was almost like this is Hawkeye's movie. You meet his family, you meet his kids. He's kind of the point of view character that we are as an audience looking at the Avengers through, which is really interesting that it's a Hawkeye movie. But I really liked that scene as well. Avi, what's your least favorite scene?
My least favorite scene is when Ultron comes out after he's built himself a body. And he's, like, limping, and he's got this, like, it looks like he drew on a face. Like, it looks like a smiley face. It's all crooked.
Oh, yeah.
With, like, these eyes, and he's, like...
I think that's because one of the people threw acid at the robot at the beginning, so the face had, like, melted?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I get that, but it looks like he did that. It's really creepy, and I was really scared. I was like, what? So I just really didn't like that scene.
Okay.
Just because I was scared. It was, like, a good scene, but I was just scared.
I think Ultron... I agree with you. I think Ultron is the quote-unquote scariest of the Marvel villains.
Well, at the beginning, and then he just turned into a robot.
Right.
That's pretty scary.
My least favorite scene was when Thor goes into the water and has the vision that tells him about the Infinity Stones. Like, what is this water? Where is this water? Where did he find this pool? Like,
it was just like he met with the guy, and then the next scene you see with him.
He's just, I mean, listen, I am not complaining about a shirtless Thor scene. Like, hey, let's go. Here we go. Shirtless Thor is a great thing. But, like, the scene just made no sense. So my least favorite scene, I guess it showed us the Infinity Stones, so we know that that's a thing, and now we know kind of the setup for Infinity War. But it was the one scene of the movie where I was like, this really is more about, like, setting up future movies than it is about, like, this movie that we're watching. Yeah. So before we get to Avi's rankings, let's hit quickly the post-credit scene. There's only one. And speaking of Infinity Stones, we see
Fine, I'll do it myself.
We see a gauntlet in a cage thing, and then a big purple guy who looks very different than the big purple guy that we're used to seeing.
Yep.
A little different colored purple.
And purple eyes.
Sticks his hand in the gauntlet and says, fine, I'll do it myself. And it is Thanos, and he's ready to go get some Infinity Stones. So, just to kind of set the stage before we have hear Avi's rank for this movie, let's remind the audience we have ranked 10 movies thus far. And from worst to best, they are number 10, Thor the Dark World. Probably staying there. Number 9, The Incredible Hulk. Number 8, Thor. Number 7, Iron Man. Number 6, Iron Man 3. Number 5, The Avengers. Number 4, Iron Man 2. Number 3, Captain America the First Avenger. Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, and number 1, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Avienda, where would you like to rank Avengers Infinity War? As Avi is looking deeply at the list,
Number
trying
4,
to decide.
Probably.
So you want to go after Captain America, the First Avenger, and before Iron Man 2?
I believe so.
Okay, so we're going to put the Avengers.
It's really hard because I feel like it was just as good as Iron Man 2. But
Okay.
I can't like put them right,
Right.
in the same spot. So I'm
Age
just
of
going to put it
Ultron.
right in front of it. And I'm going to know that I think they're both the best.
So just to say it again, that leaves us with number 1, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 3, Captain America, the First Avenger. Number 4, The Avengers, Age of Ultron. Number 5, Iron Man 2. Number 6, The Avengers. Number 7, Iron Man 3. Number 8, Iron Man. Number 9, Thor. Number 10, The Incredible Hulk. And number 11, Thor, The Dark World, which was going to stay there.
Yep.
In our next episode, we will be watching, reviewing, and ranking Ant-Man. Until then, adios, you guys.
Adios.
Have a marvelous day.